Louis City.
What's up, St. Louis City SC fans? Today is April 30th, and last night we experienced a 2-1 defeat at home in the wind and the rain. My name is Mick Massa. This is Muhammad, first-time guest.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Anytime. Jonah, of course. You guys know Jonah. But today we're very excited to have our first guest.
Second
guest,
yeah.
excuse me, on the Sunday pod. So that's a big honor to you, sir. So welcome on. I'm sorry that you came in town just to watch us lose. Part of me thinks that you're the reason we lost. So it is what it is.
Not really, man. I think we just sucked.
We definitely sucked. And we will get into full depth of how bad we sucked last night.
Yeah, so
I'm sure.
Mo, this was your first time at a City game, right?
Yeah, it was my first league game at a City game. The first one was the Leverkusen one.
Okay.
So
what'd you think?
Atmosphere was pretty nice. I think if you're going to go to the supporter section. If not, it's kind of a bit more tamed.
Kind of boozy.
Kind of like old people telling you to be quiet. It's too loud for them. So
like a golf crowd, you think?
I think worse.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to
off hot.
We're gonna have to work on that as a fan group, you know. Yeah. Any other thoughts on just the stadium or other stuff that you witnessed?
I like the stadium. It was pretty quick to go in and out, and the security was pretty simple. They don't stop you or anything like that. That was pretty nice. And I would also say the stadium looks pretty cool. So it was an experience. Kind of rainy, kind of cold.
Yeah.
Really windy.
Yeah.
So
did you buy anything from those stores that you can walk in and you just like pick up your food and then you walk out and they just charge you magically the right price somehow?
I was going to, but there was a long line.
Yeah.
And I wanted to focus more on the soccer today.
True. Fair enough. Mickey, any pre-match thoughts before we get into the events of the first half?
Before the game, we were offered 2 tickets for $30 each, and I thought, man, can't believe I passed up on that one. And then as the game unfolded, I thought, man, sure am glad I passed up on that one. But we tend to win when I go, unlike Muhammad here.
Honestly, halfway through the game when it got really windy, I was hoping for like a tornado warning, so they just canceled the game so I could go home because we were looking pretty rough out there.
Yep, not a lot of good things to talk about there except for about a 10-minute period there where...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
No.
we played that poorly.
We did.
I don't know. I think we had some bright spots.
We had one shot on goal.
I think we had 2 big chances.
One shot on goal to their 7.
Okay, well, when you cite those stats, obviously that doesn't sound very good.
They had 15 total shots. We had 7. They had 7 on target. We had 1. And we at least had 1 more block shots than they did. So
Of course we did. They were peppering us.
Yeah. That we did end up having more possession though, which is not typical of our team.
It's not our game plan.
Yeah.
That was their game plan. We played right into their hands.
Yeah, I think teams are gonna especially if they score early, they're gonna just let us have the ball because a lot of the times when we have it, it just looks like we don't have a plan or, it's really hard for us to break down an opposing defense, it looks like.
It's like we just have spurts of moments of brilliance followed with shit.
Just mediocrity.
Like Leuven last night, he was really good most of the time until it mattered, It's just moments where he dribbles and you're like, damn, wow. That was incredible. And then the shot he takes is straight into the defender or over the bar or to the left. Everything you own, take it home because we suck.
Yeah. I think both home games that we had possession, we took L's in. I don't know if you can deal with the low block pretty well.
We can't. Yeah.
I think, it's just also no one really is was trying to get into the box or just cross it in all game and we just missed a lot. I think.
And it looks like that's our answer to the low block is just crosses.
Not much of an answer.
So we had 24 crosses and 3 of them hit.
So, like,
3 of them were accurate crosses out of 24.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. And it makes sense if you think about it, because Gio is not like that tall, strong striker that Klaus is. And Klaus is kind of more built for crosses, I think.
but even
Even him,
Even when
like,
he's
I'd
in-
rather see the team, work the ball through the defense and get it into the box and take good shots rather than just cross the ball and pray that someone can tap it in or whatever.
and you know who ruined that for us all night?
Who?
You know who I'm going to say because he's your boy.
Mr. Stroud.
Jared Stroud, stand up, walk away, go sit on the bench for me real quick.
Yeah.
You played horribly.
He was coming off a good run of form, but today was not his best game. And basically the entire half by him was forgettable. I was kind of
I remember it.
I was hoping he would get pulled at half, and he did end up getting subbed out at like the 65th minute or around then. But yeah, he did not look good. He wasn't the only one that looked bad.
But he was a real standout to me.
Yeah.
Several times of terrible first touch, terrible pass, terrible time to try to take people on. I mean, the only people that I think were as bad as he were our fullbacks, and they were virtually not even there. What were they doing? Sorry, big guy over here needs to talk more. It's
Nah,
just
you're good. You're good. I actually disagree with you. I think everyone did bad other than 3 players. I think everyone out
Which
there.
3?
Perez, Berkey, and Leuven.
Okay, what
Other
about
than-
Celio?
Yeah, but he
Are
was
you just talking about the starters?
Yeah,
or?
starters. He
Oh,
was like
okay,
starting.
okay.
Well, he did score the goal, but we still lost, so it doesn't really matter.
It
Fair
matters
enough.
to me.
I don't know. I think, you said Miggy. He definitely had a good game. I think he and Vasilev both, they look like they could carry the ball up. They were making good passes. They were coming back and doing the work defensively too. Same with Leuven. Basically all 3 of our center mids. Although it was kind of interesting, we didn't really line up the same way we normally do. We kind of had, so MLS had it as a 4-2-3-1, which we've seen in the past, but it looked like Leuven was kind of like a striker in a 4-4-2 formation, and he would just kind of play a false 9 and drop back into the midfield. So it was a little bit of a different look than what we're used to for him.
I personally think we kind of limited him by doing that because part of his upside is his work rate. And there were times where it looked like we really could have used him coming back and playing defense, like where he was pretty much ball watching on the second goal that they scored.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like he's a machine. What?
Yeah, and he's definitely one who can like beat the press and look up for a counter, and like direct the counter, I think. So, yeah, I kind of agree. I do kind of like him in that midfield role. So, yeah, I guess
We should have. We take out Stroud and put in Celio and let him work. I mean,
yeah. And that did kind of happen in a roundabout kind of way, I guess, in the second half. But I guess let's go through the first half.
Okay.
There weren't too many chances for us, or I guess really for Portland. I mean, the first, I guess, major chance, if you can call it that, was that 40-yard shot by Evander. I mean, Berkey was on his line. It wasn't like Berkey was, way off his goal line or anything. And Evander just kind of ripped a shot from 45, like almost the center circle, and it went right to Berkey's hands, and he just caught it. And I was like kind of questioning why he took that shot.
There were several.
He was testing the goalkeeper, seeing he was on his toes.
Yeah, seeing if he was awake.
Yeah, and he was, and he saved it. I think Berkey played really well. Usually he's pretty bad at distributing the ball, I would say, or just like below average for me. But I would say he had one really great pass, and I was surprised. But then
was that counterattack to Alm?
Yeah. And he just said, "Let me like choke here real quick," and just I don't know what he was doing. Maybe the angles wasn't good for him, but I was kind of disappointed with that one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those two. I mean, Alm had a pretty good game.
I think so. And he played that pass. He got the pre-assist for Celio's goal. So he played Ostrak in.
So you admit they exist.
I admit they exist, yeah.
Give me my fantasy points.
Key passes?
No. Pass to assist.
Pre-assist.
Like it's hockey.
But, yeah, I guess the next significant thing that happened, David Ayala on Portland got injured. He was trying to put a challenge in on Leuven, who was dribbling around like just outside the 18-yard box. And it looked like he just kind of like twisted his knee or something when he planted. And he was just getting back from a knee injury, apparently. So that's probably pretty serious for him.
Yeah.
But
Oh my god.
then they subbed on Christian Paredes, and he actually had a really good game. So it was kind of an unfortunate injury for St. Louis City, I guess.
Damn it, Leuven. Shouldn't have broken him off so hard.
Yeah.
He cooked him pretty bad.
I know he
Yeah.
did.
I thought he was just like kind of like faking it, but then I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, he sent him flying.
He
I
hit
mean,
him with a
yeah.
hezzy so hard.
Once I saw the stretcher come out, I kind of felt bad because I did yell, "Get up, bro!" It's not that bad. Yeah.
yeah, would you say you were verbally abusing the Portland team from the sidelines?
Whoever scored the penalty came up and started saying he has ice in his veins, and I said, "It's a fake penalty, and you're trash, bro."
Yeah. We like the fans to berate the
verbally
opposition.
abused.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kids were having a great time telling the substitutes that you got 0 minutes and you're never gonna play again. So I really enjoyed that one.
How old were those kids saying that?
Like 10, 11, 12. Raising them right young.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
It's that St. Louis blood.
That's St. Charles blood.
So yeah, we didn't really have too much else in the first half.
Or in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, 0-0 at halftime. What do you think Bradley Carnell said to the guys at half?
But listen up, boys. We're not going to change anything.
Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
If we believe in each other and go out there.
He had a Ted Lasso halftime talk.
Homie thought he was on Apple TV. Oh, wait.
He is.
Dun, dun, dun. Twilight Zone.
You probably told him you got to die for 3 points, and none of them really felt like dying that day. So
It really did kind of seem that way.
yeah,
Our press was not as intense as it has been in the past.
yeah.
I feel like we were kind of fish out of the water without Klaus.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, Gio does press, but it's definitely not the same work rate that Klaus
No,
brings.
Klaus is a fucking machine. Excuse my language.
Bro's a tank.
Yes. And he moves the whole game. And Klaus his work rate is so high when we're not getting him the ball. He comes into the midfield to get the ball. He's like, okay, I'll handle this.
Yeah.
Like, I love Gio, but
Gio needs to be that second striker, I think.
yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we were missing today because Gio was kind of trying to do it all by himself. And when we'd play the ball into him, like, it seemed like he was kind of stranded out there.
I feel like first of all, Stroud, terrible crosses all game. Honestly, our whole team, our fullbacks, terrible crosses. But when we got an okay ball crossed into the box, it was like all the defenders were following Gio, even though the ball wasn't even going to him. And all we were missing was a second person making that run in behind. And it was just nobody was ever there.
Yeah.
And it made the crosses look worse than they were, even though they were already bad. And I feel like we needed, if we're gonna do the dump and chase and cross game, then we need people crashing the box.
Yeah, yeah. And it definitely did not look like that. And yeah. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. And we were all kind of wanting Stroud. I don't know if you were thinking this at the stadium too, but I was watching with Mickey and Marlon, and we definitely wanted Stroud to come out first. And it wasn't him that came out. It was Miggy, who was having a great game. And he came out for Ostrak. So, I mean, I guess, what do you guys think about that sub?
I think it was a stupid sub. I think he was our second best player on that field, and we just took him out for no reason.
Yeah. No,
so it was weird to me.
He had a test Monday.
His bedtime. He had to go to sleep.
Yeah. I mean, Ostrak was good.
I think
he had a good appearance off the bench, but why not sub Stroud out and put Ostrak on the wing? You know, it just didn't make sense.
I think Ostrak has officially solidified himself as a substitute off the bench player that brings
kind of a super
different.
sub.
Yeah, because he's gotten the chance to start, but
yeah, I mean, he had a good game against Union Omaha, but obviously that's not really MLS caliber. And he definitely brought some good energy into the game last night. He was making runs. He was, pressing the ball. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think he is a really good sub off the bench.
I agree too, Mickey.
Thanks, Mo.
So then, Portland, up until the 60th minute, they had a couple shots. Couple saves by Berkey, couple shot wide. And then in the 61st minute is when it all started to go wrong.
Yep. The MLS allows 12 players on a pitch for opposing teams. That ref was horrible, guys.
Oh, my goodness. I forgot we haven't even talked about that disgraceful performance. What an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know how my fault. I'm sorry. I don't know how he was a World Cup ref.
Yeah, he refed at the World Cup this year.
Yeah, he probably gave Argentina all those penalties. I just don't know, man. It was soft. It was real soft.
And not even just soft, but inconsistent on two different teams.
Yeah.
Like, they were getting calls that we weren't getting at all. Mm-hmm. And no, that man is not welcome back in the city.
Yeah.
And he needs a new barber. I don't know who made his beard look like that, but he don't got the chin line to have a beard like that.
Yeah.
The jawline. It's not a parade up in our city, bro. Don't come around here again.
Yeah, so 61st minute, this was like obviously the biggest beef that we had with the ref on top of the other, missed calls and the missed penalty call for us that probably should have been given to us, but
paid actor.
Yeah, so basically the ball was bouncing around in the box and John Nelson, it looked like he slipped and he fell on the ball and it looked like it just hit him in the chest. And, he was laying there and the ball hit him in the chest and maybe it glanced off his arm. But he was laying on the ground, supporting himself, trying to get up with his arm. There's nowhere else for his arm to go. That should not have been a penalty.
And plus it came off of his chest.
Yeah.
I mean, all the rules of soccer say that was not a penalty. It wasn't even a handball. I don't even think it hit his arm in an area of his arm that would have been a handball.
Yeah. I mean, there were not any good angles on the replays, really. And, I mean, it seems suspect that the ref would have had a good angle to see it.
And that's the whole thing was there was no clear and obvious error. You can't tell. The error was all those terrible shots of, I can't even believe I've yet to see a ref go and look at the VAR screen. Not once.
Mm-hmm.
What is it there for? That was not a clear and obvious penalty.
Yeah, and then so obviously Evander scores that and he goes and celebrates in front of Mo, very disrespectfully.
Told him to meet me out back, so it wasn't about that life for real. So
yeah, he was intimidated, I think, by you staring him down and saying some not nice things, but that's okay. Whatever. But then a few minutes later, on the opposite end, we had the ball, and I think it was Alm played a pass, and it hit off of a Portland defender's arm, right at the top of the box inside the penalty area, and it fell to someone on the right side, and they said that it was an offsides after it deflected off of the guy's arm, changed direction completely, and fell to the guy that was offsides. So it wouldn't have been offsides if it hadn't hit the guy's arm. Right. That's what I'm trying to say. So,
because I'm pretty sure it was a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like a pass to the other side.
To the left. Because it fell to the runner on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't, like, VAR should look at that and they should give the penalty, especially if the John Nelson handball was a penalty.
The ref should be looking at the VAR screen. I don't get it.
I don't think he checked it once.
No.
I think they just told him, yeah, it's a pen, not a pen. Also, there was a foul 10 minutes after he gave them a pen with Kyle.
Kyle Hebert.
Yeah, Kyle Hebert. Sorry.
Kyle. My guy.
We're first name basis.
So nice, name him twice.
And he gave him a yellow and a free kick. And when the replay happened, the guy just flopped. He didn't touch him.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. I'm like, you gave him a pen. Now you're giving him another goal scoring opportunity. And it was like kind of stupid. It was just like, bro, like, check VAR, go check something. Like, you're not like.
We not close enough to the river for it to be this fishy around here. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's weird, bro.
Yeah. So I guess right before that yellow card happened, Carnell did make a couple more changes. We brought on Celio and Aziel Jackson, who were both fresh off of an amazing showing against Omaha. And we took out Giacchini and Stroud, who thankfully he's off the pitch at this point, right? But Aziel Jackson, Celio Pompeu, and Thomas Ostrak, they all were looking really good. I think after those subs, I kind of felt like, okay, we're kind of, we have some momentum. We're making some good passes. I thought those were good subs, those two.
I think they changed the game.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all three of them played very well. Aziel Jackson, I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
I want to see Celio start.
Yeah, I think Celio, well, yeah, I really do think he's good.
He's got just awareness, and he's got the ability to use his awareness to get people the ball. Like, he made that just like midair kick the ball over his shoulder, I think.
Yeah, like a little sombrero flick or something.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. And he's coming off the bench for Stroud.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be interesting, at least while Klaus is hurt, if he was one of the two up top in a 4-4-2, because he can hold on to the ball really well. And if he kind of drops into the midfield, or, even just goes out wide to get some space and we just blast a long ball to him, like, I have complete faith that he can hold on to the ball for long enough for our entire team to push up into their half. So I would like to see him start up top while Klaus is out.
I hope he starts next week. So
he better.
Yeah.
Against FC Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got his goal. He had 3 assists against Omaha, and then he forced that own goal. So he's in form. There's no denying it. And you would think Carnell would reward him with a start sooner or later. Yeah.
I slowly over time, Carnell makes, it's not even that he makes bad decisions, it's that he makes no decision at all. And that is worse in a lot of ways. Like, I would much prefer to see us lose and at least try something new to handle that low block that seems to be our kryptonite. But instead, it's more of just like, we got 2 ways of playing. If the high press isn't working, we're dumping and we're chasing.
Like, long ball and then crossing.
Yeah, and that's just so frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is frustrating to watch.
And it's boring. It's just like...
And it's predictable, too. That's the thing. So teams know if they go up early in a game, they know they can just sit back and give us the ball, and they're just going to come out with 3 points.
It's not even that. It is that, but it's also like teams know, hey, look, if we can play in this one way, they will automatically be dog shit. Just as it's a given that if we just play this way, they will be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I guess we didn't go over our goal yet, but it did come in the 79th minute. Alm plays just a beautiful through ball into Ostrak, who runs in to the box kind of off of a defender's shoulder, and he gets the ball right at the 6-yard box, kind of on the goal line, and he doesn't really have an angle for a shot himself, so he cuts it back across back towards the penalty spot for Celio, who just roofs it over a defender, over the goalie. It's a great build-up play. It's a great finish. You love to see it.
Yeah, I thought it was a really great goal. I got really hyped. I grabbed an old man. He started yelling with me. It was a great time. It was a great goal. I liked how he was one of the only players that actually ran into the box every single time.
Yeah.
No one else was running into the box other than for a cool, 70 minutes until we scored that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I saw the ball, it's on the opposite side. No one was running into the box, and I think that hurt us a lot during the game too.
And you see immediate results once people start running in.
Yeah.
And immediate results once people stop again.
It seems like when you have the desire to score a goal and you run into the box and try, you might score one. But
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I think that on our left and our right sides, we just have players that sometimes their only capability is helping other players get a result, and when they can't do that, then they're completely useless. Like
A system player.
right, and like they're not scoring goals. They're trying to get somebody else to score goals, and when their crosses aren't good enough to get goals, or just people aren't running in the box, then they're just doing nothing. Our
Yeah.
fullbacks,
Yeah, our
if we're
fullbacks.
not getting clean sheets, they're pointless. Like they're not attacking,
Yeah.
and when they are, they're bad.
Yeah,
They're bad.
they're not good crossers of the ball. And we kind of thought Pedro would be, but he hasn't really done much to impress, I guess, off the bench. And I mean, we have Akil Watts on the right, and he subbed on, and he kind of had some threatening passages of play, I'd say, this past game, and he looked good against Omaha. But he's just not super consistent. So, yeah, going back to your point about like the system players on the wings too, it would be really interesting to see if we get a third designated player. And it would be really cool to see someone who can kind of create chances for themselves. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Bobby Firmino. Seems kind of like a pipe dream at this point.
I'll smoke the pipe. Pass me the pipe, I'll smoke it.
I thought he already signed with someone, but I'm not 100% sure.
No,
I
he
know there
hasn't.
were rumors that he had an agreement with Barcelona, but Fabrizio Romano, who knows everything about transfers, said that nothing was agreed yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not hopeful of him.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But I do think, I mean, we have a third designated player spot. You know, we can afford to pay someone above average to come play for us.
I think it should be a left back or a right back.
You think so?
I think we have enough attacking talent and youngsters that can choose to prove themselves or not. I think Celio could play on the left, could play up in the middle, probably play on the right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Celio, I think.
It would be cool to see a really good fullback, like I wonder if like Anthony Robinson, you know, from Fulham.
Never.
He's
He's
probably
getting scouted by City, dog.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's a bit too good. Maybe like
a bit.
Yeah, he's definitely too
Yeah.
good. That's also,
He's
and
like
he's in the
23.
prime of his career too. So why would he? He's playing in the
Like
Prem
who?
already.
I would like to see Newcastle legend Dan Burn join the ranks of St. Louis City.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's too good, but if he'll come, we'll
Hey.
have him.
He'll play center back, left back. He'll play anywhere you want
Sounds
him to.
good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess some context. Obviously, you guys, our fans know Mickey's favorite team is Liverpool. Mine's Real Madrid.
Mo's is also Liverpool. He
No.
bought a jersey once upon a time.
That's lies. I never bought a jersey.
Prove it.
I have it at my house.
Wasn't
He
me.
gave it to me.
You got proof.
Yeah,
Wow.
but Mo is a Newcastle fan now, so yeah, that's why he said Dan Burn.
Yep. Love money.
Okay, but who actually could we?
I don't know. I think we would have to rely on Lutz Fanasteel to find someone up and coming in Germany or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm confident that he can find someone.
I just hope that or like a crazy winger.
Yeah, that would be my hope. I would rather have a winger than a fullback, just because like I don't know, Stroud and Alm have their qualities, but
No, they don't.
but if you,
They
I mean,
do, but they don't. You know.
yeah.
They do one game, and it's like wow. But honestly, that one game that I'm talking about is Cincinnati, and pretty much all the goals we scored were worldies. You know, not consistent. Can't consistently score those. And plus, I feel like even if we got a left back or a right back that could whip in balls, our strikers aren't good enough to put headers in the back of the net. Maybe. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to dog our team too much, but
I think our team is pretty good. I think we need another striker, personally. And I think it's
wow,
Edin Dzeko, the Bosnian legend.
that would be crazy.
He's
That
37, end of his career.
He could come to the MLS to run it back for a couple more years, and it makes sense because of the Bosnian ties to St.
Yeah.
Louis. You know,
So I think he'll feel at home here. You know, he'll be a St. Louis legend. That's
I'll
it.
buy a jersey right away.
yeah, I think he would break records for St. Louis jersey sales.
I mean, I think he'd break records. I mean, the man can score.
Yeah, I mean, how's
He's
he
my
doing
idol.
right now in Serie A?
In Serie A, in 30 matches, he has 7 goals and 3 assists at the age of 37.
So, I mean, single digits still. That's not the best, but he is 37.
And it's a defensive league.
It's a defensive league. Yeah, he's not the main man for Milan. So, it makes sense. I mean, he could definitely increase that goal tally in the MLS, you'd think.
Oh, for sure. Poacher's goals, too. That man's a poacher for sure. I
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah. I don't know if he would fit into the high press system, though.
That's true.
I don't know how many presses he has
But-
left in him at this.
But then we could put, when the high press isn't working and we want to do our long ball loopers over into the box, that man, his head is gold.
True. So yeah, I guess we didn't talk about their second goal. It was pretty unfortunate. Santiago Moreno, who was probably their best player on the night for Portland, the ball like bounces to him from a goal kick or something, and there's like 3 St. Louis City players around him, and he somehow like just manages to just fight his way through, and he just dribbles through the first 3, and then he's just running at our 2 center backs, and he passes the ball out wide to Jimmy Chara, who subbed on, and he one-times the shot straight from that pass, and it goes through John Nelson's legs, and Berkey's just kind of left stranded there. So it's a tough goal to give up, especially just a few minutes after we equalized. You would like to see the midfield do better there, but then after he does get through, it's kind of like, I don't know. There's not much John Nelson could have done, not much the center backs could have done, not much Berkey could have done. So really on the midfield at that point, I think.
I agree with Jonah.
See-
Sorry. No, I think we let him cook, and he cooked us. And
Yeah, he did.
And honestly, when that goal happened, I honestly just put my head down for 1 second, looked back up, and I'd see him score a goal. And I'm like, this is disappointing. I'm sad. I want to go home.
Yeah.
See, it is his fault.
What was the stadium reaction to that? Was it pretty deflating?
It was like a lot of like screaming. Then I look up, and it's just like everyone's like sad. No one's talking. It's just like
Silence.
It's
Silence
very.
the crowd.
He like silenced the crowd, and I was like, "It's gonna be a long way home now."
I wish I wish the Luligans would make more relatable chants so that more of the stadium would get involved with the chants. But some of them are just too corny, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I felt this way since they announced that the club was going to open. I just feel like there's too much of a county vibe in that stadium. And now I'm just hating. So to any of our listeners that are county people, I'm just hating. But it seems like they just come in from outside the city and sit there and don't chant. I'm just hating.
Yeah, we got.
I mean, I like that they stand the whole time at least.
Do they though?
Yeah, they do.
You guys are standing the whole time, Mo?
I think the whole time. I was standing the whole time.
What's the point of standing the whole time if you're not going to chant?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what were your thoughts last game, Mo? Would you say most people were chanting, or was it quieter?
Most people in the supporter section were chanting,
Right.
But other than that, it was kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Other than
you said
like
worse than a golf crowd, right?
probably worse than
Yeah.
a tennis. Like, yeah.
Jeez.
So, they only chanted when like the ref sucked. That's it for a cool 5 minutes. But I would say the supporter section was pretty good throughout the whole game. They weren't never quiet unless someone got hurt or an injury or something like that. But other than that, they were standing the whole time, dancing, jumping. So if you ever go to a game, that's where you want to be.
You know what the supporter section needs? A goddamn organ. If they make it like a baseball game. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think that's. I disagree.
Defense. Defense. This is America, bro. Our supporters are not here to be like, once I watched a man score and then we came and
The English chants.
yeah.
Yeah.
Defense.
Yeah.
Make it like a basketball arena instead of beating on a drum at a different time than the other drum
Yeah, chanting Berkey's name at different times.
for no reason.
Well, I guess looking ahead, I mean, unless there's anything else from that game you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, I want to shout out a fan. He finessed the stadium's cameras. He had a sign up that said, I just want both teams to have fun. And he flipped it, and it says, the ref sucks. And the whole crowd went wild. So shout out to that fan, whoever you are.
He flipped it once the cameras were on him.
Once the cameras were on him, he was like smiling, acting all innocent. Then he just flips it, and the whole crowd just goes wild. And I was like, yeah, this is what we need. This is more what we need.
He's a fan favorite, huh?
Yeah.
I personally think that, like Lutz said once upon a time, we want this stadium to be the gateway to hell.
Yeah.
And there's just a certain kind of fan, and maybe these are just fans that bring their children too.
Yeah.
That are like, I didn't come to the soccer game to hear profanity. It's like, go the fuck home then and watch it on your fucking goddamn couch. How about that?
Yeah.
Your kid is going to hear bad words at some point in their life. And also, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's real life out there.
Yes.
You know? You can't shelter kids from language forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be. And, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's worse than a golf crowd. If people aren't going to be cheering, like, and getting into it and cursing at times when it's needed to curse.
You don't need to curse. Just don't tell other people not to curse because your dumbass brought your dumbass kid. That's on you. Like,
Yeah. I'm with it.
I don't get it. And if you're not going to, yeah.
We can't be the gateway to hell if we have fans that are worried about that.
Don't say that word.
Gateway to heck.
I think I might be a bit too harsh.
No, I want to hear. Yeah, no,
But,
just rip them real quick.
I think we need to take the St. Charles out of St. Louis for a second. Have more passionate fans.
You know, when people say they're from St. Charles, that's not the same as saying they're from St. Louis. Like, it's two distinct places.
I agree with Mo, and that's pretty much what I was trying to get to earlier, but I didn't want to be too rude.
Yeah. It's not just St. Charles.
My point is that if you're making the tickets to these seats way too high, then people that are actually passionate about the game but maybe just can't afford to go to the game and will be way more of an uplifting energy than somebody that... Look, if we started being bad right now, I guarantee you half of those rich folks would stop coming to the games and we would just have empty seats.
Yeah.
And if you give the middle class and the poor folk the opportunity to go to any game, you catch me there, my broke ass. You catch me there no matter what.
Yeah. I guess a decrease in ticket prices might also be more like a family crowd too. Like it might make it more accessible for kids and stuff. So it might be kind of like a cycle, vicious cycle. Yeah.
Welcome to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we by far have the most expensive tickets out of any MLS.
Really?
Like Kansas City's like, they're doing a 2-for-1 special
Well,
type
yeah,
of
they're
thing.
terrible.
And like Chicago's just like
Also terrible.
can you come in for free? They need people.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
just
pay
like,
you.
I think we need a cap, something like that, like $80 at most, if you want to resell your ticket or something. I don't know.
I just
Yeah.
think there needs to be a less amount of season tickets. Like,
But there was just so much demand for them. I mean, I think there was 19,000 season ticket spots available, and there were like 66,000 people who paid the deposits for season tickets.
I just don't want to see this team turn into the Enterprise Center and the only people that get to go to the Blues games, unless they're terrible.
Yeah, or up in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, even the nosebleeds are the wealthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Soccer's supposed to be a poor man's sport. It's everybody's sport.
Yeah. It's just not how it is in America, though, unfortunately, with the whole club system. And, I mean, Zlatan has come out and said this when he was playing for L.A. He was like, yeah, each of my kids, it costs $3,500 to play soccer. And where he grew up, it was probably free. I mean...
You didn't even need boots.
Yeah. I spent a semester in France in high school, and I played for a club team. It was just, like the local club team, but it was $5 for the entire year.
Like, what?
Yeah. And you see, like, it translates, like, so clearly to the international teams. Because they, like France and all these other European countries, have free youth development, basically. And the U.S., it's only the 1% or whoever, the upper middle class who can afford to send their kids to get trained to play soccer. And so it's just eliminating, like, 90% of the population's kids to develop as a youth. So it's very frustrating.
How did we get here?
Yeah.
A bit off topic.
Yeah.
I think
Frustrations
it's
are
totally
high.
on topic.
Yeah. Anyway,
You've got to die to get 3 points.
I swear.
our team did not look like dying for those 3 points.
Okay, and that's another thing. At what point do we say, hey, Kyle Hebert, hey, Tim Parker, just because you're super passionate and you throw your head and your body in front of everything doesn't mean you're good at the sport. I mean, when Nielsen comes back, which one's getting dropped? I'm saying Tim got to go.
Yeah. Mo, what do you think?
I disagree with you.
You think
I
Hebert?
want Tim Parker just because we need some guy out there, just like if someone's gonna mess with, let's say, Miggy or something like that. He's a kid. We need someone to be like, hey, yo, ain't gonna happen, dog. Like, push him, get that yellow card. Then you can sub him
Hebert
out.
will do that.
I think Berkey will do that. Did you guys remember that game? It was a home game, and he was up in someone's face, like yelling at them. I think someone got fouled or something, but yeah, Berkey will definitely go to bat for our teammates, I think.
This Nielsen guy, he's supposed to be legit, like one of the best center backs in the league.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. And it'd be really nice. The one thing I will say, so Tim Parker, obviously, he's our captain, and he has, or vice captain, right? Berkey's captain.
Berkey's captain.
So obviously he's a major leader on the team. He has the most MLS experience out of anyone else, which is valuable in itself, even if he's on the bench. So that's kind of why I think he should be on the bench. And the reason I think Hebert should stay is because he is like number 1 in the league for most 50-50s won or something.
He also went and played for Canada,
Yeah.
who is a pretty good CONCACAF national team.
Mm-hmm.
Did he start? I don't know.
No, he subbed on the second game.
Oh.
But they've got an established team. They went to the World Cup.
Yeah, what's Tim Parker doing? Where's Tim Parker from? I don't even know.
I think he has a couple U.S. national team caps.
Really?
Yeah, but not any meaningful ones.
I just think he's a passion merchant. And usually I'm all in on passion merchants. You know that
As a Liverpool supporter.
yeah. I love the fire and the flame of the...
Tim Parker definitely has the fire and the flame. And another thing that I like is that he's not afraid to put his body on the line. Like, when he goes up for a header, like, he's going to go through the player in front of him if there's someone there.
What I don't like is how slow he is. He was getting burned. Just burned time and time again. Just especially, who did we play? Who did we tie? Colorado. Oh my God, he was getting torched all game.
Yeah, that was ugly.
So here's what I'm gonna say, and maybe we can end with this. It looks like Mo's out here cooking something up on his computer, so I'm gonna give him a chance after I go. But this off season, after this inaugural season, Tim Ream, come home, my boy.
He did go to SLU. He's from St. Louis. I would love to see Tim Ream.
Come play next to Nielsen, and we'll have the best defense in the MLS.
I'm here for it. Obviously, I don't know.
I mean, he just had a season-ending injury. He's not going to get any more time this season. Fulham stayed up, so I don't know. Maybe they'll get another center. He's getting old, you know?
I'm pretty sure he's 37 as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you kind of wonder how long he can play at that highest level in the Prem. And I like the odds of St. Louis getting him once he kind of wants to slow down his career maybe, or he's looking for a different challenge.
Tim Ream, come to St. Louis. It would be so cool. Obviously Miggy is from St. Louis, but we need him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He would be a legend.
Any of our alum should come back. I'd take
Brian McBride. He's a little old now.
No. What's the Norwich kid?
Josh
Sargent.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him.
All right, Mo, what you got cooking over here?
Oh no, I was just looking at Joachim Nelson's and the Bundesliga. In the last 4 games, he was playing pretty well against pretty good teams. So I'm pretty excited for him to come back and actually play for us. And so it should be a good time.
For Sweden? He's 29, and that's like optimal age for a center back.
Yeah.
It says he started a couple of games and he played pretty well.
Average.
Yeah.
7.0 match rating plus in his past few games. So for Sweden, and that's what it looked like in the Bundesliga too.
7.1 against Spain.
Yeah. You like to see that. And he is expected to be back. I know at the beginning of the season they said early May was when he was expected. So it should be coming up anytime here soon. So I guess one last thing before we end the pod. We are going up against FC Dallas, which is Tim Parker's old club, I believe. Or was he at Houston? I think he was at Houston, actually. Never mind. But, yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen this game? Score predictions?
I'm going to go with 0-0.
No shot.
Yeah, I think we draw this game. Then we play 2 other teams, which I think would comfortably will be kind of maybe dominate. But I think next game is 0-0. We're not playing at home. We don't have a striker that can score us goals.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be like low block and just try to score a goal, but I don't think we're going to succeed next week.
Mickey, I want to see, if we're going to start Gio up top, I want to see Celio at that cam role and get
the second striker.
Yeah, get Leuven back into just a regular CM role where he can just be a box-to-box midfielder, because I think that's where his levels are best. And I want to see Stroud on the bench. I would love to see more Aziel Jackson at.
Aziel Jackson.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's earned himself a start.
Yeah,
Stroud. He played way better than Stroud this past game, and he only played for 20 minutes, I guess. So, yeah, I think him and Celio both deserve starts. And unfortunately, if Celio is going to start, it probably means that Miggy or Vasilev are going to be dropped, which I don't think they're necessarily deserving of getting benched.
I don't think we need both of them on. They play similar roles. And it's like,
that's true.
I think we should have a CM box role, a CDM like Miggy or Vasilev. But, I mean, they are very similar in that style of play. And Celio at a more cam / false 9 / second striker role. Gio just got to get big, man. You're not big enough. And I think Alm can stay on, but I'd rather see some rotation.
Yeah. We do have the Union Omaha game the Tuesday following the Saturday game against Dallas. So there's probably going to be some rotation that game for sure. I don't know if we're going to rotate to prepare for that game. It kind of seemed like that's what Carnell was doing with Vasilev the past Open Cup game. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of how Carnell approaches this.
Yeah, more than anything, we can talk all day about how the players played and this and that, but they're only able to play in a system that they're given, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think Carnell has been good enough at making adjustments at all this season to hope to sniff first place at the end.
Yeah.
I think we'll still make the playoffs, but the way it's looking, I think a lot of teams are going to start figuring out how to play against us.
Yeah, it does kind of seem that way.
Obvious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dallas, looking at Dallas's style, it looks like they play in their own half, which is good for us, for our press. But then they are aggressive when they lose the ball, and they play the offsides trap, which I don't know if we've come up against a team that really plays the offsides trap. We don't really make runs in behind like that, I guess. So, yeah, and then Who Scored also lists one of their weaknesses as defending against long shots. So,
Leuven.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the game where Leuven scores an outside of the box missile, because we've been hyping him up for his long shots, and he hasn't really scored any. So
except that one that was in the box though.
Yeah, it was outside or edge of the box, but yeah, we'd like to see a little more from him.
I'm trying to get Mo to break it down.
I think it's going to be a boring game, personally. I think it's going to be hard for us to score. We have to score first.
Yeah.
If they score first, I might just turn off the TV, because I don't want to watch like one half and just sit there all game, just sitting in the box.
That seems to be the theme of the season.
Yeah, we're going to have to score first.
If we get scored against first, it's going to be a loss or a draw. And they're
definitely
going to
sit back. And, yeah, I mean, teams know that we're not very good with the ball. And it's a little,
but that's like where I'm like, Carnell, we have players that are good with the ball.
Yeah.
Like, Stroud is not good with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Celio is fantastic with the ball.
I think Stroud should honestly be reserved for teams who try to play possession and try to build it out of the back.
Yeah.
If we know that we're going to play against a team who does, more counterattacks and they just sit back and then they play long balls in, like Colorado and Seattle, like Stroud shouldn't be playing those games. It should be Celio, because he can start a counterattack for us, and if we're trying to get through a low block, like he can penetrate that, I think, on either side he's on. So
I agree with Jonah. I think
always Jonah.
Hey, right, ball knowledge. He's always winning here, man.
Yeah, in our group chat, Mo likes to send out periodic ball knowledge ranking lists.
Among other lists.
That we shouldn't talk about. But Mickey's usually last, and Jonah's usually first for me. Yeah, so
Yep. As it should be.
L take.
yeah.
Not true.
Mickey's hiding his face in shame.
I feel like I've been spitting all afternoon here.
Also, Mickey came in last in our fantasy last year, so
Yeah, true.
I served my time.
And I came in first. So,
Again.
yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that seems like a successful podcast. What do you guys think? Anything else to add before we say goodbye?
I would say next game's going to be hard, but after that, I think that's 3 easy wins for us.
Oh, yeah, we got Chicago 2 games and then Sporting KC. So,
Yeah. So we're going to play against No Fans FC and not the Soccer Capital of America FC. So let's see what happens.
yeah.
I think against Dallas, we're going to win 1-0. What do you think, Jonah? What did you already predict?
I did not. I would. So since they play in their own half and they also kind of press, I kind of like our chances. I'm gonna give us a 2-1 win, but only if we score first. I think if they score
A lot of
first,
stipulations.
if they score first, then it's gonna be 1-0.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to the Chicago game in Chicago, so maybe keep an eye out for me. We can talk about that
You'll
next
be
time.
one of like the 10 fans in the stadium.
That's why I think I'm going to bring a big old sign that has
Mo, what was their average attendance numbers
I
for
think
Chicago?
10,000
Yeah.
and Soldier Field, which I think has like 50 something.
Yeah, that's a huge NFL stadium, obviously. But the funny thing is, 10,000 is half of our stadium's capacity, which is a very small stadium.
Yeah,
So-
Chicago, you're going to lose your team. They're relocating. Sorry.
They're going to Vegas.
it's always Vegas. All right. That's all for today. Welcome again to our brother Muhammad here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for tapping in. We'll catch you guys on the next pod. Thanks.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.